Hey, troops, it's Roy from Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from the green couch in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So I'm a little late on this one. A while ago there was the announcement, a long while ago, that there was an announcement that the umpteenth project on Disney Plus was Star Wars because cha-ching, duh. And the project was Star Wars Visions, where they were going to allow Japanese animators to do their own short stories based upon the Star Wars universe, which sounded cool. Yada 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 yada. Come on. I wonder what the heaviest influence for Star Wars was, huh? Kurosawa. At least one of them. Anyway, so it was one of those things where, yeah, oh, sounds cool, yada yada yada. And then I finally, futzing around on YouTube, got on, the umpteenth YouTube channel with list of the 10 best, yada yada yada. I'm like, oh, and they did one about Star Trek Visions, and I thought, oh, okay, yeah, let's see, and I went, I'm an idiot. Oh my lord, what did I miss? So we're gonna talk about Star Wars Visions. Woo! No, I'm not doing an episode by episode thing because it's 9 episodes. Good news is that I did not realize this. Rather than doing like What If, where they're about half hour each, these, I think the longest one is 18 minutes long. So if you really want to speed binge watch as much as you can speed binge watch, it's real easy to do. It was a lot of fun. The episodes are uneven, okay? The thing to keep in mind, most importantly, I guess, is the fact that this is a homage, okay? And you're going, yeah, so. Homage, meaning that this word, who knows? Canon doesn't really mean anything. You're obviously basing everything upon the rules and the tropes and everything from Star Wars, but what's canon? Case in point, the rule of two, where there is a Sith master and a Sith, which I think all of us always kind of went, why? Oh, that's you got Sith Lords not quite all over the place, but you got a bunch of them, which, yay, because it's a lot cooler to see Jedi Knights fight a whole bunch of other evil Sith Lords as opposed to, Darth Maul going, I kind of outnumbered, man. What's up? So you're running it. You've got that. The other thing to keep in mind also is that as a homage, when I mentioned Kurosawa, and when I mentioned tropes, something else to keep in mind. It's funny how a lot of these villagers that are living in the Star Wars universe, they all look like poor Japanese rice farmers. Okay, talk about shades of of Seven Samurai and Sanjuro and Yojimbo. The Kurosawa estate should be going, really. It goes on and on and on. So gotta be prepared for that. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay. I'm sorry. I wrote a lot of stuff down, and my handwriting is horrible. So, like I said, the episodes can be. For instance, there's an episode called The Elder, where a Jedi and Padawan, they're out there doing their patrolly thing, and all of a sudden, of course, the Jedi Knight is the one going, I sense a disturbance in the Force. So go investigate, and they run into the, probably one of the few Force wielders that might be older than Yoda, who also turns out to be a badass with two red lightsabers. You want to talk about tropey? You run. They land there. You got the Padawan learning stuff. Yada yada yada. The cool part is the duel between them, between those two and the Sith. The I don't know if you even call him a Sith Lord. He is, when you see him, he looks ancient. And I mean, I mean, you're going, well, Yoda was ancient, dude. This Sith Lord makes Yoda look like a millennial. Okay, seriously. Um, but watching the duel is a wonderful thing to watch, and this is one of those things where, as much as you're hearing me bust on this stuff, but especially how tropey things can get, because you're relying upon the influence of Kurosawa, samurai films in general. But when they do it well, wow. This duel and the duels in general are a wonderful thing to watch. Um, there is a short story called "The Bride," where a Jedi Knight's kind of in hiding. Now, whether this is after Order 66, remember, canon, okay? But she ends up on a planet um, where it's very much a organic, very much a nature driven planet. And unfortunately, after the war, the umpteenth conflict, and of course the cliched bandits show up and yada yada yada. And like I said, this Jedi's been in hiding, but Fine decides, no, I need to do something about this, and she has a duel with the warlord. It's very reminiscent of the duel from Seven Samurai. Oh, the one where the one guy, the amazing duelist, and he has this one, he's taking on this one guy, and the other guy, this usual boisterous kind of like, oh no, I won, and I don't know, and the other guy, of course, is going, no, you didn't. No, 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 we're gonna prove it because we're gonna use live blades, and he's like, all right, we'll do it that way. But the duel is it is a, you want to talk about homage, that is a homage to that scene. Even to the point of even the posture that the Jedi takes is like, wow. um the story, like I said, the stories, there's a multitude of stories going on. Some of them are goofy. We're talking about homage, we're talking about anime, so you gotta have mecha, okay? You gotta have mecha. So there is an actual story called TOB1, and you're going, TOB1, write it down. Did you write it down? Yeah, Toby. Um, a Jedi Master built a droid. It's a very cute story, and actually, one of the nice things about it is that all of these stories, are very serious, heavy-handed, yada yada yada. This is very much a kid's story. It's very cute. It's very sweet. As in this droid he's built, he's a kid. He's basically Toby. Basically his son. Wink, wink, Astro Boy. And actually, kind of similar, cute style to Mighty Orbot and 5 billion other kids anime. Um, and all of a sudden, of course, who decides to show up. And there's even merging mecha, sorta, kind of. It's mecha. You gotta have it. All right. Um, but as another example, also the homage is um dysfunctional families. um, there are a couple stories with twins, homage. Lop and Ocho and the twins, where you have one twin who you're looking at one side taking the light side of the force and the other side taking the dark side of the force. Lop and Ocho is much more well, in the end they're both tragic because you get to see two families broken apart, and it's a really sad thing to watch. The twins is over the top hysterical. You stylized animation, a lot of screaming dialogue, lots of screaming dialogue. um, Lapin Ocho is more traditional, is much more serious, is a much more serious, dramatic take on the story. And like I said, though, it's a very sad thing to watch. And especially in Lapin, especially for Lapin Ocho, because one of the one of the siblings wants to join the Empire. You've heard the line, you're doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. She doesn't want to see her planet destroyed. She sees joining the Empire as an opportunity to not die, and the other one's like, no, we're making a deal with the devil. We cannot do this. Breaks your heart. Which brings up actually the other thing, the powerful thing this series does is tragedy. And a classic example of that is the last story, Akagiri, where a Jedi comes back. Well, actually, no, he was a Padawan at the time. How far he is at being a Jedi Knight? To save his lover. You want to talk tragedy? On the flip side, son, did you not see what happened to Anakin and Padawan? Did you not listen to the blogs? Did you not listen to the rumors about what happened to them, brother? Come on, man. But again, the whole idea of actually, yeah, again, the idea of doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. So many stories, so many stories. One, unfortunately, I have not touched on yet, which is my bad, is the Ninth Jedi. Fun story where a lightsaber smith is trying to get the Jedi to come back, and he's making all these lightsabers for them, and unfortunately sends an unencrypted. You know how you send a reply all and the wrong people get it? That's kind of what he did. Hi, I'm making lightsabers for Jedi to save the universe. Would you like one? It is nonetheless. It is a fun story. Again, it's what's canon, whatever. But if you want to talk about a fun homage to what Lucas, to what everyone has created, Oh yeah, there's a complicated story and a whole different podcast of itself, but never mind. The best. Now you're going to be kind of surprised by what I say is the best. Me personally, the best one is Tatooine Rhapsody, and you're going, what? Yeah. Which is basically what happens is that a rock band that has been started by a ragtag bunch of musicians. One of their members is related to Jabba the Hutt and suddenly gets called in. So they gotta go and rescue him. Lots of really fun, cartoonish anime style. It's a fun, hysterical story, and you're going, why the heck? Because honestly, it is also the most original story out of all of them. It's not about the Jedi. It's not about the Empire. It's not about the rebellion. It focuses though on one of the things that makes Star Wars and all of these stories so powerful. The idea of community, the idea of connection, the fact that this band of they're musicians, kind of on the right side of mediocre musicians, are about to take on Jabba the Hutt because you know what? You don't. He's our buddy. He's one of us. No, we will try and save him. And if you want to talk about trying to break the mold here, the lead singer Apparently he was a Padawan. Wasn't that good? So it is a sweet, beautiful, wonderful story that's out of left field and is a lot of fun to watch. But now you're leaving off one, aren't you? Yes, because as much fun as Tatooine Rhapsody was, my favorite is, yeah, you know what's coming, is the duel. You want to talk about a homage? Yojimbo, Magnificent Seven Samurai. And actually, as far as artistic style, it's all in black and white, but the uber detailed artistry of something like Akira. Um, like I said, all of these stories are a homage to not just Star Wars, but for all the things that have influenced them. So if you're gonna do it, you go over the top, which is what this is. A whole bunch of, it is the umpteenth bunch of poor villagers that look like they're rice farmers in the middle of the Star Wars universe. Or maybe they're harvesting Quanta Triticale. Shout out to Star Trek. Trouble with Tribbles. You'll get it. But anyway, bunch of farmers are getting screwed over by bandits. So enough. We're going to take these guys on and bring in, of course, the mysterious Ronin. But, what story isn't fun without an over-the-top, awesome villain? And out of all the characters in here, the Ronin that fights is really cool. I swear, Toshiro Mifune was channeling his soul into the character, which is, we don't know it. Classic. We don't know his name. We just know him as the Ronin, because that's what everyone's been calling him. Because that's kind of what he is. More into that later. But the person who's leading these bandits is this over the top Sith Lord. Hard to say how powerful. She is a Sith Lord who has a lightsaber umbrella. Yes, I said a lightsaber umbrella. It sounds dumb until you watch her use it, and it is epic. Okay, yeah, you got Darth Maul with the quarterstaff. Yeah. Imagine a lightsaber that had maybe like 10 blades on it. Yeah. It was epic. And on top of that, she has this giant afro straight out of Afro Samurai. It is amazing to see the two of them. Watching them fight was beautiful to see. It was a magnificent piece because, like I said, all of these are homage. Yes, things get kind of tropey. But also, like I said, if you're going to do a trope and do it right, oh, heck yeah. Which is what this does. And the other magnificent part about this story is that it brings up a lot of questions also, because when the fight starts, and of course, you got the Sith Lord who's like, yeah, I'm gonna, with her giant, laser umbrella. Ronin draws his lightsaber. It's red. And when it's all over, he tells the villagers, hey, you guys are fine. He retrieves the crystal from the Sith Lord's lightsaber and is about to kind of add it to a long line of other red crystals. And it's like, wait a minute. What are you doing? And the thing to keep in mind is he is a Ronin. He is a masterless samurai. Remember what I said, But like a lot of good stories, though, it brings up as many questions as it answers. What has he been doing? Who was his master? Blah 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 blah. So yeah, that is, for obvious reasons, it's my favorite one. Also because one, the Ronin looks awesome. Two, the Sith Lord, she looks awesome. cosplay opportunities up the yin yang. Just so much. So overall, it's fun. Perfect, not by any means. They take they take a lot of liberties with the rules in Star Wars, but the best part is as a homage to one of the great epic stories in our culture. It was pretty dang cool. And also emphasizes another important aspect of what made Star Wars for me so wonderful was that it was this vast universe. Um, Stories that went everywhere. In the pre in the pre Disney purchase, but I think Disney's realizing that yeah, we kind of made a mistake, didn't we, in some ways, by ignoring all of the other stuff that was created. The stories like Tales of the Mos Eisley Cantina, the comic book series like Tales of the Jedi and Rogue Squadron, um, the 5 billion games that were created. The good news is, though, at least in the Star Wars stories like Rogue One, the realization that this is a vast universe, so many stories to tell, so many points of view, a lot of fun. And in the end, maybe that's the most important thing. I think in some ways we've gotten caught up. Now, this word is still important because it's about consistency, it's about rules that keep the story from going, wait a minute, how come? Because you don't want the wheels falling off from what you've created either. Because then all of a sudden it starts turning into junk and you're sitting there going, really, guys? But on the flip side, I think sometimes we've forgotten that, you know what? This is all about fun. It's about a bunch of stories that touch a lot of important emotions in us. Sometimes they're driven by grief. Sometimes they're driven by redemption. And in a lot of ways, that's the most important part of Star Wars Visions, is a reminder that, you know what, this is about storytelling, and that's the most important thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go because hey, it's a long week. It's a busy weekend, yada yada yada. So hey, y'all take care. May the force be with you. Seriously, may the odds be in your favor, and as always, be good to each other. Okay, peeps. Peace. Bye.